Well, hello again. This is a message for the folks in IVYT 120, both the online class and the face-to-face class. Let me try to be really positive here because a lot of you are doing some really remarkable work. When I read your reflection papers, you get it. You really understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. You really are getting benefit from doing the tryouts and the reflections. Yes, there's a lot of writing in this class. You know what? I say that, and then I think, you're talking about 7 or 8 one-page reflection papers a week. That's not a lot of writing, and especially when what you're writing is not scholarly research. It's your reflection on what it is that you've learned about yourself and how you can implement that into not only your college life but your life in general. Let me just say how much I appreciate the optimism, how much I appreciate the great attitude that I see reflected in your postings. For those of you that are posting in discussion board and encouraging other members of the class, thank you for that. It's really refreshing. To be honest with you, the grades at this point are better than grades probably ought to be the way I grade, and let me just talk about that and get into some of the negatives here first. Some people have not attended. You can't pass this class and not attend. I'm looking on my computer at the attendance factor here. Some people have been spotty in their attendance. If you're in an online class, we take the attendance based on your participation in the discussion board. If you're in my face-to-face class, you've got to show up. You've got to show up on time, and you have to show up every day. All right, every class day, every time you're supposed to be doing things. Now, in looking at the grades, some people haven't turned in any assignments. Some people will go along and they'll turn in all but 1, maybe 2 of the assignments. Some people are consistent in not doing any of the glass castle assignments. Those little things are going to hurt you on your final grade, and you want to make sure to take a look at the grades I posted, and if there are zeros there, you need to fix that. Now, negative. If you're one of those people that has got very poor attendance or no attendance, and you've got all zeros by your name, then let me just say, do yourself a big favor and withdraw from this class now so that the inevitable doesn't happen and I am forced to give you an F, because the stress of you constantly trying to catch up in this class will be more than you can handle, I guarantee you. The other thing that I see is people have been spotty on taking the tests. Please take a look at the test schedule so that you understand when the tests are due, and then take those tests. If you'll go to the far right-hand side of what I've posted for grades, you will see a column that says assignment grade weighted, exam grade weighted, final project, and then final grade total points. Now, first of all, what that means is assignment grades weighted is your grade, 50% of your grade is the assignments. So that would be, there's another column farther to the left that says assignments average. That just tells you what your raw average is for all of the assignments you've turned in. Assignment weight graded is the contributing factor for your final grade. 50% of your final grade is the assignment grade weighted. The next column says exam grade weighted. Well, you've got 20% of your final grade is the exam, so that's 50 and 20 is 70. And the last column says final project. Now, if you go back over to the left, you'll see final project grade, and there's a 70 in everyone's column. That means I put in a grade there assuming that you will get at least a C on your final project, and frankly, everybody in this class at the rate you're going ought to get an A, at least a B, but you ought to get an A. Well, that number will change to the better, but the final column that I want you to look at will be meaningless unless we have a grade in the one that's labeled final project weighted. Now, the final project is worth 30% of the class grade. So, for all of you right now, that grade is listed as a 21. Now, if you'll take assignment graded, exam graded, and final project, Those three added up will give you the final grade total points. And the final grade total points is, if you wanted to know how you're doing in this class right now, you would look at that final grade total points. And man, look at that. We got people with 79 and 78, and that's just great because those grades can only go up from this point. So I'm betting by next week or next couple of weeks, you're going to start to see some 80s in there. That means that if you had a 79, that means I got to make a choice between whether that stays a C or I move it into a B. And how do I make that choice? Well, I'm going to look and see your attendance. I'm going to look and see if your grades tended to be going up, and those are how I break that time. Also, look and see if I have a fantasy name for you. If I don't have a fantasy name, you're never going to know who you are in this class. I must have a fantasy name. Next week, if I don't have it, I will assign fantasy names. You're not going to know who you are, and so good luck trying to figure out how you're doing in the class. You need to be staying up with all the assignments. If you have any questions, give me a call. I really and truly, in reading what you're saying, so many of you get it, and so many of you are seeing how this class will be of great assistance to you. And I know that you will be so much better in any of the other classes, English especially, where you have to do a lot of writing because of what you have done in this class. So let me just say thank you for being in the class, and keep up the great attitude, and I appreciate that. And one other quick thing, take a look at the instructor video. I put in something there I want you to look at. It's not a video per se, but it's got pictures, and it's labeled Attitude. Take a look at the thing labeled Attitude in the instructor videos. You have a great weekend. Keep up the great work. I'm looking forward to working with this class. You've been a pleasure so far, and we're not going to let the negatives outweigh the positives, so let me just keep talking to the people that are doing the work and getting the benefit from it. You have a great one. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you and seeing the kinds of things that you will be doing, and I've got to find the video that I've just lost here somewhere, and we'll go from there. Have a great one. Bye. I found it.